Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It is your host, yours truly, Kaleef Starks. This is the Stark Effect Podcast, and this is my YouTube channel where you can check out everything that I've done over the last few years, some of my earliest interviews that are on camera, because I've been interviewing for a long time. Just a lot of it has not been on camera, child. But welcome back to my YouTube channel. And first of all, before we get into the topics of the next few posts that I have to do here, I just want to say thank you, genuinely. If you actually subscribe to me and you watch my stuff and you give me a chance, I just want to say thank you. I'm having to reacclimate to getting back on camera after not doing it for about a year. So full transparency, I was a little nervous coming back. You probably have seen that in a few videos. I feel like even as I watch older videos of mine and some of the recent ones, I feel like each time I make one, I get more comfortable, with doing it again. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching me. And if there are any topics that I'm missing, please DM me, shoot me a message or leave me a comment under the video and say, hey, Kaleef, I want to hear your opinion about this. Can you report on it? And then give your commentary about it. Still do your reporting where, you got to be unbiased or whatever, but then give your commentary on it, right? Let me know, because it's a lot in the news cycle. Because even as I was getting ready to come back, because I had to take a few days off because it was just too much. My last video, I think I posted it on Tuesday, and I literally told myself, I said, I posted it Wednesday, I think. And I was like, I got to take Thursday and Friday, or I posted it Tuesday, sorry. And I was like, I need to take Wednesday and Thursday off to myself. I'll come back and record Friday, because it's a lot. And, also too, I am a working journalist, you guys. So this is my personal YouTube channel. But it becomes a little overwhelming because I'm still working. You know what I mean? For my 9 to 5, I'm an actual reporter. You know what I mean? I'm not on camera. I'm a print reporter. So I write and I still report stories. I do interviews. I conduct stories. I do my research. I went to school for this, right? My podcast is just for people to hear my voice and see me on camera more. It's a passion of mine, but it's also something that I'm hoping that I can make something grow out of, because I've been podcasting for literally almost, oh my God, I started in 2016. So it's almost been 10 years of me podcasting on and off. My first podcast was a joint podcast with a person who I'm no longer friends with anymore. This is no shade to her. We had a podcast together. I think it was called the MK Show, and then we changed it to the Ladies Room. Anyways, we only have 5 or 6 episodes on SoundCloud. And it didn't work out because, I wanted the podcast to be hot topics, right? I was like, can it be a hot topics show? She wanted it to be about religion. That's not my thing. She was a very religious person. That's not my thing. I have nothing against religious people. That's not the type of content that I make. We just did not see eye to eye, and it didn't work out. Then we had a falling out. We're not friends no more. It is what it is. Life happens. No bad blood towards her. No shade. No nothing. But it didn't work. And I remember, and I just want to give you all a backstory about me before we get into the show here. I remember after that, I met this other person. I forgot his name. He's irrelevant. Let me stop, child, because I'm irrelevant too. No, but I don't even know if this guy is still podcasting, and I forgot his name. So obviously he's not that important. No shade, it's just the truth. And honestly, I'ma shade him because he dissed me. Anyways, I met this guy through a mutual friend that I used to work with. Oh my God, this was in 2017. I forgot his name, but he was like, yo, I want to start a podcast. I'm looking for a co-host. And he was like, I'm literally looking for people. And I remember he DM'd me. I think he DM'd me, yeah. A friend introduced us, and then he DM'd me, and he was like, let's meet in West Hollywood at a club. We met in West Hollywood. I think it was at the Cantina. Oh my God, this was in 2017. So that's how many years ago? That's what, 8 years ago? Oh my goodness, wait. Yeah, that was 8 years ago, so I had to count because I'm a child. But yeah, we met at the club, and he was so focused on clubbing. I was there to talk business. I was like, okay, finally I have another person I could do this with. Because you guys, let me tell you, I've had this hunger to podcast for a very long time. I am not new to this. You can go back and check me, honey. You can check The Perfect Blend. I wasn't on camera, but I did have a small listener base, and people listened to me on the internet, right? I just wasn't on camera. So people getting to know me now, they're like, oh my God, you've been podcasting, girl. I haven't seen your stuff, who are you? That's kind of how some people treat me here in LA. But you know, I've been doing this for a very long time. I just was kind of shy to get on camera. And now that I'm not shy anymore, I'm like, okay, we're on camera now, girl. I didn't went to school. They didn't train me on how to be a news reporter on TV. That didn't work out. They didn't want to hire me, child, because I'm trans. So let me go back and just report on my own show and have fun and have a good time, right? Because I'm like, I went to school for this and no one is taking me. It's... We'll talk about that maybe in another video. But what I will say is that TV news doesn't want to hire someone like me. And I think that that's something that I can confidently say because it has not happened. You know, not a full-time, openly trans contracted news reporter. They have not hired, they don't want to do that, especially in this current era. You know what era we're in. I don't even have to elaborate anymore. And if you don't know what era we're in, I'm talking about this Trump administration, all this stuff going on. You know, Public Broadcasting Corporation basically have literally they're about to shut down NPR and PBS due to federal cuts, and I'll report on that in another video later on in the post here. But what I want to say is that I've been podcasting for a long time, and I'm ranting because I love to rant. You know, I love to talk, so I hope you can skip past this or sit through it. You know, play it in the background as you're doing laundry. Okay, I've been doing this for a while, so I just want to say it means a lot to me. I don't think y'all understand how much it means to me because I have been grinding for years and I still feel like I'm finally a professional journalist, right? I've interviewed celebrities, I've interviewed, not to brag, but you know, I have a resume. So just because you don't see it, don't mean I ain't doing it, right? I've interviewed Gabrielle Union, I've interviewed Vivica A. Fox, I've interviewed people, you know, I've interviewed Nico Anon. I've interviewed all types of people. I've interviewed Karen Bass in my career. I've interviewed people, right? So to do my podcast and come back to this, it really, really means a lot to me. And I just want to say, when y'all leave comments, when you share my stuff, especially people on Instagram, a lot of people have been showing me love on my IG reels. They've been sharing my reels. They've been liking my content, and I might not always get a lot of likes on Instagram, but some of my reels get likes, some of them don't. But the fact that people still watch and just take the time and we have this connection, I just want to say thank you. Because when I came back to touching my YouTube channel, I was a little bit shy of 10,000. I was like a little bit over 10,000 views. And I've only been putting out content actively for about the last month, the last 3 weeks. And we have already gotten 3,000 more views. So I'm literally at, last time I checked, I was at 13,859 views. So I just want to say that those views are not me. I mean, it's my hard work because y'all are watching. So I'm grateful. But what I'm saying is that you watching, it really, really means a lot. And I'm just so grateful because this is a passion of mine. I have a hunger for it. I've had, a lot of ups and downs in my media journalism career. Actually, let me not do that because I'm actually paid. Like, I'm an editor at a whole newspaper, right? So I do have a career. And I just want to say, like, as a openly Black trans woman in this space, it really, really means a lot that you all take the time. Because I'm going to be real with y'all, and I just want to have a real moment before we get into the show here. Like, it's hard. It's not easy. And I think, and for me, it could get challenging sometimes, you know, having to deal with people, having people let you down. You know, I've met people who are like, oh, I want to produce your show. I'm gonna be here for you. They don't want to be here no more. You know, you fall out with people and then you want to work it out and they don't want to work it out. It's a lot happening behind, you know, and it's so funny because I don't have a big following, right? But it's interesting how, I'm still working at this and I'm still working on my craft, and it's difficulties. You know, this industry is not for the faint of heart. And when I say this industry, I mean me actually working as a reporter, a print reporter, and also trying to grow on camera, wanting to grow on camera. So I have a lot of topics for you tonight. Oh my God, we got Beyonce, we got Doja Cat over here mimicking Sydney Sweeney. We have Ashanti and Nelly's baby's party. We have Paris Jackson and her fiance. They called off their engagement. We have Justin Timberlake announcing his health issue. We have Kim Kardashian's new face wear for Skims. It's a mess. So we have Karrueche Tran. It's been a lot. It's been a lot of news this week. I mean, every week it's a lot of news. But this past week wasn't a slow news week. I feel like the week before was kind of slow. The week before that was kind of slow. It's been kind of a slow summer. But this past week was like boom, 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 boom. I was kind of overwhelmed. So I hope you enjoy. I'm gonna go ahead and get into our first topic. Please remember to drop down in the comments. Once again, I need you to tell me what you want to see, right? It's up to me to consider. But if you are an avid watcher, I only have 152. Shout out to my new subscribers. When I came back, I had 131. Now I'm at 152. So that's what, 21 new subscribers. Thank you for subscribing. Drop down below. Let me know what you think. Thank you to my new subbies. Thank you to my older subbies as well, because y'all been sitting here this whole time. So anyways, I'm really, really grateful. And I just wanted to express that. All right, let's move on. My first topic will be Miss Beyonce, because she's had a lot of highs, and people's trying to, tear her down as they do every week or every day in the news, child. They always want to tear Beyonce down because she's one of the most successful Black women out these days, and probably of all time. One of them of all time. There's other ones as well, not just her. I'm just being respectful of all my other girls. But yeah, Beyonce has made history, as she always does. Now I know some people don't like Beyonce. If you don't like her, skip past this. We don't care if you don't like her. I like her. Yes, that's me being biased. Okay. I like Beyonce. Okay, as I sip my green tea in my home. I like Beyonce. I'm not saying Beyonce perfect. I'm not a beehiver. Before we get into Beyonce, when people hate her, it annoys me, because when people hate her, they make it a point to say they hate her, which is so odd to me. If you don't like her, you don't like her, that's fine. But there are some people, I think they get a kick. Sorry, I was gonna fix my hair. They get a kick out of being like, oh, I don't like Beyonce, so I'm gonna take a stance. I don't like her. It's weird to me. It's interesting to me how they do that with her. They always do that with her, if that makes sense. I noticed that like certain people do that. And I'm not saying you can't, but if you see a person who likes her, why come to them and make it a point to do that? I've had people literally argue with me because I enjoy her music and I like her and I do consider myself a fan. I remember back in college, I had a girl try to fight me.
You need to back up. You need to back up. You getting too close. You getting too close. Yeah. I was like, oh my God, I can't talk to you. Let me go talk to Todd.
Because I like Beyonce. We both were in a gender studies course together and we became friends. I'll tell that story another day. But I did have a lady she was a girl at the time, child. She tried to fight me because me and her had a disagreement, because her stance was that Beyonce is just a whore. That's what she was saying. I'm not saying Beyonce is literally a whore, but she was just saying how she doesn't like how sexualized Beyonce is. And for me, I was like, well, I think it's empowering. I think it's beautiful. I think Black woman, my opinion, and it triggered her. She got so mad at me to where she literally called me the B word, and we almost came to blows. Actually, we had a situation. That's another story time for another day, maybe, if I tell it, because I don't want people to think I'm out here fighting. But this happened in my college days, okay, where I had a person attack me. She literally jumped up and tried to attack me.
I'm self-made. Big dog, bitch. Big dog. Look way better than you. You can't fuck with me. I'm unwinnable. I don't fight. I will call the police if you put your head on me. And I still...
So anyways, she hated Beyonce that much to where she wanted to fight me because I like Beyonce. So that's why when people come up to me, I'd be like, girl, if you don't like her, that's fine. Anyways, let's get into the news. So, according to People magazine, Beyonce's Cowboy Carter tour just became the highest grossing country tour in history, making over $400 million. The 35-time Grammy winner's 32 stop tour is also the shortest tour to gross more than $400 million. Beyonce, congratulations to you. She did drop the Cowboy Carter album in 2024. Now, if you all remember, that album did cause a lot of controversy because a lot of the country sector, or the clique of the country genre of music, which is predominantly white, although country music was not white people's music, they took it. I was gonna say something else, but we're gonna be diplomatic. Yeah, the album caused a lot of controversy because, she's a Black woman. And, the thing about Beyonce is that Beyonce has a lot of leverage and power, right? Like, Beyonce has a name. Beyonce sells albums. Beyonce can transcend any musical genre at this point. I mean, she's touched a little bit of everything. And she's an icon, respectively, even if you don't like her. The woman works hard. She has the resources, she has the finances, and she has the fan base, okay, to do whatever she wants to do in music. You know, I consider her one of the queens of music just off of the mere fact of how she touches different things. Now, here's some criticism before we get into the rest of the article. It won't be that long. Now, although I'm a fan of Beyonce, what I will say is that Beyonce may not be the most original, and let me tell you why. Because there are times where I feel like a lot of her music, she samples too much. And I'm like, okay, let's be more original. You sample a lot. And she does songwrite, but she's caught in flack for stealing songs or taking people's songs and putting her name on it. Go look it up. There's several lawsuits, and I'm not disrespecting Beyonce to the Beehives. I love her down. But what I'm saying is that there are times where I'm just like, can we have a little bit more? She's good at a concept, and she's good at creating that. There are just times where I'm like, I want you to push your artistry even more. I want you to like not sample so much. I want you to come up with your own thing. But as I give that critique of Beyonce, I understand why she samples, because when you sample music, when you step into a new genre as well, you want to have people be familiar with the new material that you're making. So I see why she samples. Like with Cowboy Carter, she had Dolly Parton on there. She sang a Dolly Parton record and made it her own. What was the name of that record? See, I didn't forgot the name of the song, child. And I really do love the song. Was it something about the lady with the hair? Hold on, Cowboy Carter tracks. Jolene. See, sorry, look. I have a lot of info in my brain. But she samples a lot, respectfully. So I'm not going to say that she's not completely original. But there are just times where, even not just Beyonce, any artist, where they just rely on samples so much. And I'm like, can we get back to when y'all made original material? Like, I'm okay with the interpolation. That's how you say the word interpolation, when you interpolate the song or you sample it and you make it your own. And you kind of change it to where we know it's a sample, but you literally made it your own. I'm cool with that. I just wish more artists in general, not even just her, I wish more artists in general were more like willing and brave to try something new. But it just sucks because that's the hard part, I think, about making music, because audiences, in my opinion, I don't think everyone really likes new music like that. And a lot of listeners, when I say new, I mean like fresh, organically made music. A lot of people like what's familiar. A lot of people like easy, catchy songs. I mean, there's like scientific facts that literally show that people like prefer dumbed down music, right? Not saying that her music is dumb or anyone else's, but what I'm saying is that music listeners, I feel like they don't really gravitate towards completely new stuff. Their samples are more familiar. Anyways, that's just a small critique I have, but that does not take away from Beyonce's work. Beyonce is still the queen, and love her down respectfully. I am a fan of her. And I feel like I grew up with her, you know, so to see Beyonce where she is now, it reminds me of like Brandy and like other women who I listen to. Mary J. Blige, Brandy, Ashanti, Sierra, Anne-Marie. It's like certain women where I'm like, oh, I feel like I like grew up. Like Erykah Badu is another one for me. Sade is another one. Who else? Toni Braxton, Keisha Cole. It's just certain women like that where I'm like, okay, you are a part of my life. Like, I grew up with you. You get me? Like, yes, I was a baby when some of them first came out, and then I was like a kid when the other ones came out. Like, I was like 7 or 8 or 9 or 10. Okay? Not to tell my age, because now they like to say that the 30-year-old girls are aunties. And by the way, I am not an auntie. I am a proud niece. Okay?
Okay, keep talking with this dramatic line.
I don't give a I'm dramatic. You just like me.
Oh.
Yes, niece.
Not nothing like you.
Yes, niece. Everything I do,
Ain't
you
your niece.
copy behind it. I thank God.